Welcome to NSU TV News. I'm Holly Jenkins reporting here in Natchitoches, Louisiana for our final spring broadcast. And here's my co-anchor reporting from Anchorage, Alaska.
Hey Holly, I am Sydney Bulott here in Anchorage reporting for the newscast, for our final newscast. Things here are finally, it's starting to feel like spring is in full swing. The temperatures are getting warming up, snow's melting, so I'm really excited for summer.
Today's top story, COVID-19 has caused many changes here at NSU. The virus is still a threat, and university administration has had to rethink traditional graduation exercises. For spring 2020, NSU will hold a virtual ceremony May 8th, followed by a traditional commencement ceremony on August 8th as a tentative date. Friday, April 17th, University President Dr. Chris Maggio sent an email to the NSU community announcing dates and plans for spring 2020 commencement exercises. The email explained that a virtual ceremony will take place in May with a live commencement taking place August 8th.
Graduation is the most important day on any college campus. I mean, this is what our students have worked so hard for. So when we had to postpone it, the first thing I wanted to do was to reach out to the graduating seniors.
To allow graduating seniors' voices to be heard, a survey was posted online through social media. Over 650 NSU seniors responded, with the majority requesting a traditional ceremony.
We purposely put it on a Saturday instead of a Friday when we generally have our commencement ceremonies, but a number of our students will be working at that time, so we've got it set for a Saturday.
Dr. Maggio emphasizes that although August 8th has been chosen for the traditional ceremony, university officials are monitoring the situation, and the health and safety of students, faculty, and staff will be the basis of any final decisions.
But we also wanted to do something special on the day that they had planned to graduate. So we'll have a commencement speaker. We have one of our recent graduates, Miss Holly Conway, who is Miss Louisiana. But we'll also have our deans and other academic leaders visiting, and hopefully we'll have some special guests with some words of encouragement for our students.
A virtual ceremony will be held live. A time has not yet been decided, but the video will be shared on social media for anyone who cannot watch live. Diplomas will be mailed the following week. What's been the biggest challenge with deciding how to honor the seniors?
Well, I don't know if it's been a challenge because the seniors have been with us and we've been using their input, and they've been included in the planning meetings all along.
Although Dr. Maggio recognizes that this is not the way seniors envisioned graduation, he's discovered the students understand the need to update commencement ceremony plans.
And I hope as we look back in history at this, it will be something that says, you know what, although it was very traumatic with us at the time, we made the best of what we did.
Do you have any additional comments?
We're a stronger Northwestern family because we all are working through this together.
More information will be released in the following weeks. Graduating seniors can stay up to date by regularly checking their email accounts, where Dr. Maggio is constantly sending updates.
As of today, there are 58 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Natchitoches Parish. NSU TV reporter Rebecca Lorio has the information on the COVID-19 testing center, which has been testing local residents the past 4 weeks.
The parking lot of Central Louisiana Technical Community College is the site of a COVID-19 drive-through testing center. The center opened 4 weeks ago to serve Natchitoches Parish and the surrounding area. As of this newscast, the center is open Tuesdays from 10 a.m. till noon.
It just was natural for us to make sure that we had a testing center here for our communities that we serve.
To date, 344 people have driven up to be tested for COVID-19. However, only 223 of those people actually received the test. 6.5% of those having tested positive for the virus.
We're very blessed at Natchitoches Regional Medical Center to have the supply of personal protective equipment. That's your masks, your gowns, your face shields, gloves, those types of things.
Matushka urges local residents not to panic, but instead to take precautions and remain safe.
If you're following the proper social distancing, if you're following proper hand washing and hand hygiene, if you're using masks, you're going to be fine.
Matushka says that the unknown can be frightening, but the staff of Natchitoches Regional Medical Center are working hard to serve the community.
So we want them to know that we're here to serve them.
Anyone who is concerned that they might be showing symptoms of coronavirus, which include coughing, chest pain, and difficulty breathing, should call their primary care physician or Natchitoches Regional Medical Center for advice.
NSU students recently elected a new SGA president, vice president, and SGA Senate. Newly elected President Nick Hopkins states that NSU students' mental health and well-being will be a priority when making decisions in the 2021 school year. NSU TV producer Samantha Clark talked to Nick about how the pandemic will affect his goals as the new president.
So what made you decide to even run for student body president?
Coming onto this campus, just seeing what a special place it was, how involved every student was and how much each student loved this university. I knew that was something that I wanted to do, and I wanted to give back to this university in, the biggest ways possible.
You have worked under Jacob Ellis as president for the last 2 years. So what are the biggest takeaways he's given you? What have you learned from him that you want to use in the future as your term?
Right. So some of the biggest takeaways that Jacob has given me, he's been such a great mentor and guide, just through not only through SGA, but through college life in general to me over the past 2 years. He's a fraternity brother of mine, but more than that, he's a very, very close friend of mine.
What's your big goals as student body president?
So Kristen, my vice president, and I, we're really wanting to do a shift to a larger focus on student health and well-being. And so that's not only including physical health, but also mental health as well. I know one of the things that we have in mind right now is building kind of like a recreational area on the edge of Chaplin's Lake, right there in that little grove of trees by the Jefferson Street gate to campus. Just like putting benches there, some posts to hang hammocks, and things like that, to where students can kind of have like a relaxation area.
Coming into this position in a very historic time for the university and for everyone. And so I was going to ask, how do you plan to manage that? You're in a position I don't think any student body president has been in before.
It's a very unique position that we've been placed in with everything that's been going on, and we are just, as a student government and as a university, we're planning ahead. We're trying to take things day by day, and, we're just trying to handle it to the best of our ability because, new news is coming out every day and things are changing, but we are keeping students at the forefront of our minds with everything that we're doing. We're trying to make sure that whatever decisions are made are the best for the student body.
To see the full interview, search NSU TV on YouTube. Coming up on NSU TV News, the impact of COVID-19 has been felt nationwide, with the effects on local businesses and individuals yet to be determined. Up next, we talk to a local business owner working through these difficult times, and later, a finance professional gives us money advice.
Good afternoon. I want to ensure that all students are aware of and understand the modified grading policies issued by the university during COVID-19. First, what they are, and second, what implications they may have to you as a student. First, let's talk about the incomplete option. Prior to the last day of classes, a student may request a grade of incomplete through their instructor via email or teleconference. The grade of incomplete will be given at the discretion of the instructor, provided a student was passing the course at midterm. The deadline to request a grade of incomplete is May 1st, 2020. An incomplete is a viable option for you if you were passing the course at midterm, have had disruptions due to COVID-19, and need extra time to complete course requirements. In this case, you have until September 9th, 2020 to complete requirements. It is important to note that, should you not complete requirements by September 9th, the incomplete automatically converts to an F. Next, let's discuss the late withdrawal option. After final grades have posted, you will have until May 25th, 2020 to withdraw from a class with a grade of W. If you accept your final grade, no further action is necessary. If you wish to withdraw, you must complete the COVID-19 electronic request to drop form located on the registrar's website and return it from your NSU student email to registrar@nsula.edu. For undergraduate and graduate nursing and allied health students, please remember that you must have a final grade posted by May 11th, 2020 to be considered for progression to summer clinical and didactic courses. Finally, there is a pass-fail option. While the least recommended of the options, you might consider taking a pass instead of a letter grade if you want credit for a course but do not want it to affect your GPA. If you wish to utilize this option, you must complete the electronic request to receive a pass-fail grade form available on the registrar's website. You must return it from your NSU student email to registrar@nsula.edu. In all options, it is imperative that you discuss with your instructors, academic advisor, director, department head, and academic dean to make sound academic decisions. In addition, you should also discuss your options with financial aid and scholarships to see how any of those choices might affect your student financial aid and scholarships. A reminder that these policies are for the spring 2020 academic semester only. Please visit the NSU website for additional information pertaining to COVID-19 and to read the modified grading policy in its entirety. Also, please visit the registrar's website for additional information. From all of us at NSU, we hope you and your families are staying safe and that you are making good progress for a successful finish of your academic semester.
COVID-19 has impacted the economy nationwide, and local businesses are not immune from the effects. Our reporter James Stanfield spoke with a pair of local business owners on how they are coping. Here's the story.
It's almost unsettling in downtown Natchitoches. Signs on the doors of restaurants, and places usually packed, seemingly empty.
We're hurting, just like every other economy across the country and across the globe. Anytime we're shut down for so long, of course, it's going to hurt our economy. So I am just really proud of what the folks who are staying open are doing to shift gears and pivot their business plans to continue to serve in whatever way that is.
We've seen a tremendous pickup of business in spite of it just being curbside and drive-through, and we can only imagine if the dining area was open, it would be even better. Right now, it may be a little drop, but not tremendous.
Anytime our NSU students are not here, it definitely hurts our hearts and our economy as well. With everything being shut down, I don't know how huge of an impact that it really is. We would be hurting pretty badly whether or not our students were here or not.
We went from having probably like 19 to 9 people.
Went down to 9.
And they had to get out of here to get to their families. So yeah, we lost a lot of people immediately. But the 9 that we had, they pulled together and, just kind of took the workload that was heavier and they went with it.
I think that there's seasons for everything in life, and COVID-19 is in a season. It's not going to go on like it is right now forever. Our economy is absolutely going to bounce back.
We miss being able to be out with our customers out in the dining area, and we have to be very precautious now. So just being normal again.
And at the end of all this, I personally cannot wait to come down to any of the local Natchitoches restaurants and get myself a burger to eat. For NSU TV, I'm James Stanfield.
While much of today's news focuses on the impact COVID-19 has on health, for many the financial impact is equally as concerning. NSU Assistant Professor Dr. Nick Taylor was able to hold a Zoom interview with a finance professional, David Gillette, about navigating limited funds through these uncertain times.
I think the first question is, these are weird times. Am I right or wrong? We're looking at
it's indescribable. There is no place to go to get resources because everybody, in a sense, is kind of going through the same thing.
Right.
So yes, Nick, it's unprecedented times. If you're 150 years old, you haven't seen something like this.
To be scared or to be nervous about, especially, health and finance, are you seeing that in people? Is that something that's normal?
I mean, no question about it. And I think in this case, it's compounded with uncertainty. I think this economy going into this situation, I think this economy is strong enough to withstand a month of downtime.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can sustain that. If it goes beyond that, there's going to be some real challenges and some need for some real creative thinking to try to mitigate it.
Okay, and then that's actually a perfect lead into my next question is, what can people be doing right now to help themselves? Let's look at students and then maybe their family. I mean, if you have any advice for students in this point at this time.
Right now, there's a lot of resources being put forth, both at the state level and the federal level, to try to give deferment, to give a little grace, if you will, in what's going on. And I would say to take advantage of all of those things. And here's the other thing, and I hope this is a lesson going forward. Now more than ever, people are learning the value and the need to save. What's critical and necessary as opposed to simply what is something of desire. I mean, we used to live in a needs society. Now we live in a wants society. Save your money, spend only on what's necessary. Take advantage of, through Verizon, I use them as an example. I see where they're extending out payment plans and things like that. Certainly with student loans, you're able to defer.
Looking at the parents, what for adults in this situation, do you have, what are you telling people who come to you and ask, what should I be doing right now?
It goes back to I'll say two things, and it's a little bit more specific when dealing with parents. Number one, it goes back to the need to save, and they don't need some guy sitting on a Zoom meeting to tell them that. Common sense is, if it's an essential, if it's critical, if it's absolutely necessary, then you spend to get it. If not, you don't. But the other thing is, with parents, people that are working and servicing mortgages and doing those kind of things, take a look at your local banks. Here in town, everybody hears about this Paycheck Protection Program, this PPP. The government has put these measures in place to give business owners some temporary relief, get them some income, and try to essentially, how do I say it, create a bridge between the time they were working before up to the time they start working again. If you're an employee, then find out if your employer is participating in the PPP program. Chances are they probably are. If they're not, then you file for unemployment. And if you're a business owner, if you're not an employee but you're an employer, then you have no reason not to go and apply for that Paycheck Protection Assistance. Call your tax preparer. Tell them I want to participate in the program. Have them interface with whatever bank you use. If you don't have a tax preparer, that's okay. Call the bank and say, I need an SBA PPP application. It's, I think, a 2 or 3 page application. It's pretty brief. And say, I need to know the items needed to supplement that application. The bank should be able to give that to you.
How are we going to get through this? I mean, I know you kind of opened with it, but, are we going to be okay?
Absolutely. We'll get through this, and we're, 5 years down the road, we'll look back at it and it'll be a memory. But it ought to be a harbinger for these kids coming out of college. Don't take anything for granted. We're resilient. The economy was very, very strong prior to this. I think you'll see us coming out of this. So yes, Nick, the short answer is yes, I think we're going to be okay.
Galette asks for you to remember these helpful tips. Save wherever possible. Look for federal, state, and private resources set up to help during this time. And don't be afraid to call on a finance professional for help.
When we return, a heartwarming story from New Orleans. See how a community is coming together to help others. Also, if you're missing the spring concerts or dance performances at AA Fredericks, we've got you covered. Stay tuned for a special performance from the Creative and Performing Arts Department when we come back.
Northwestern spring graduates will be honored in the most extraordinary commencement program in our history. That is appropriate because students who are completing their studies now have overcome the most difficult challenges to ever face a graduating class at the university. They will be recognized for their achievements in a virtual commencement program on Friday, May 8th. The graduates, their friends, and family can see the ceremony online and on various social media platforms. The virtual program will reflect conventional commencement ceremonies. Northwestern alumna and Broadway performer Holly Conway will speak. Academic deans will read the names of graduates, and there will be other pomp and circumstance to celebrate the occasion. This spring's graduates will also be invited to participate later in traditional commencement ceremonies. Graduates will be contacted in the days ahead with more details and requests for photos and videos to make the May 8th virtual celebration even more meaningful. Congratulations to this very special graduating class, and as always, for convenience.
I love NSU because I've made the most amazing friends here. Friendships I know will last a lifetime. Come see why I absolutely love this place. And as always, fork 'em demons.
Welcome back. Most organizations have had to alter day-to-day operations over the past few months. Charities are no exception. For the Please Foundation, based out of New Orleans, Louisiana, change has come in the way they support the community. Nyasha Brown interviewed members of the Please Foundation and discovered how they transitioned from feeding the mind to feeding hungry stomachs.
With me this morning, I have Ms. Yvette Endem, the founder of the Please Foundation. What is the Please Foundation?
The Please Foundation, we provide mentoring and leadership training and scholarships for inner city kids to go to college prep schools, and then all the resources they need to succeed there. Like for some students, maybe books, uniforms, tutoring. And our ultimate goal is for our students to all get into college, hopefully with scholarships. And as of now, 100% of our 2014 through 2019 graduates are in college, been accepted to college, attending college.
Many people are focused on helping themselves or their own families to get through this crisis. So what provoked you and the Please Foundation to want to help?
Really, one of my board members and his wife, the Morses, he is a doctor at Ochsner, and so many friends and family were calling him, what can they do? And so many people were doing things for doctors. He thought, well, let's help our Please families. So it just started up by cooking food for some of our families, and then it broke off to let's get gift cards for groceries, or how do you give without interacting, right? So it just became like contagious. So we had gift cards for groceries, people cooking meals, and then even some cash donations to help family give. And I just think once somebody helps and you get your family involved and their friends want to help. So I guess just helping others feels good, right? So once one person does it and talks about it, then everybody else wants to do it, hopefully.
What is one thing that your donors have gained during this time of giving?
I think one of the things that the donors have gained, even though we have the social distancing, when they deliver food, they're still, put it on the porch, wave high. And so I think just the donors have gained the gratification of helping people, but also because Please is so small, meeting who you're helping, right? Everybody, we're all the exact same. Some people just struggling more than others. So I think the human interaction, instead of just writing a check or just dropping things off. And then our families have, when they write thank you notes, that has been like a biggest thank you given back to the donors. Like, oh, they really appreciate me, and then just to get that thank you from the person you're helping and meeting them and seeing the smiles on their face, it's just been rewarding for both, I think, the giver and the receiver.
Lastly, how will the Please Foundation help others beyond this time of need?
it's hard to get rid of us. But we continue to help our families in time of need. And what has been really neat through all this is that our families trying to help one another. Like, they're sending resources. Like, we had one mom send where to get free diapers and, you know, how to apply for different things that might help each other. So we always say we're like a family, but it's really like really seeing that we're a family big time, which is exciting.
And if anyone would like to donate to the Police Foundation, where can they go to do so?
They can go to policefoundation.org. There's a donate now page, and you can even, there's a section where you can designate where your money can go. And because we're so small, if somebody wanted money to go to groceries or something for a particular family, that's very easy for us to do.
Moving courses online is challenging. There's an extra challenge when you are a dancer not able to rehearse in a studio. The students in Garfinkel's 1030 modern class did not let a lack of studio space hold them back, though. Under Garfinkel's direction, the students logged on and let their music guide them through this improvisational performance.
And go. Many of you are wondering how we in the performing arts have handled moving to online classes. Well, I'm getting ready to teach my modern class online.
Taking dance classes online has been a very different experience for all of us.
I feel like I don't have the same energy as I would if I were in a studio collaborating with everyone else.
It's not the same as being in a studio, but I'm very thankful to still be able to share our passions together.
Knowing that we still can dance together as a class and as like a community, it just really like makes this whole coronavirus thing like 10 times easier to deal with.
Good, everyone come and wave. Come and wave at the screen. Come see your faces. Wave, wave, wave. Wave to everybody.
And that'll do it for this semester's newscast. We would like to thank everyone involved with our productions. To close out the newscast, we at NSU News, with the help of Marketing and Branding Department, pay tribute to NSU Healthcare alumni serving our community. Thank you for your hard work, and Fork 'em Demons.
And as always, Fork 'em Demons.